What's good, everyone? Welcome back to FaShaun, episode 21. Today we're going to be talking about a loafer that I feel is the best in the market for the money, best bang for your buck, while also being the silhouette that I think most people will want to gravitate to and is the most timeless. Today we're going to be talking about the Solovair. Oh my gosh, blanked out for a minute. Solovair penny loafer. Let's get into it. Here it is. Looking all nice and snazzy. This is my used pair, of course. These are still, I believe, made in England. Pretty much like Doc Martens used to be. You can see here that it's, I don't know the technical terms here, but it just stitched very nicely and very sleek, which is what I wanted. I didn't want like kind of the ruching that kind of occurs. I know it's a little bit more trendy nowadays, but this is what I wanted. Just a simple silhouette that looks really, really good, really timeless. The bottoms here are actually kind of comfortable. They're not all wood. There is rubber down there, and it is Goodyear welted, so you can replace this entire bottom half if you'd like to. The price I paid was about 220 Canadian dollars. It's about 150 US maybe, and then less in British pound sterling. But you can see how amazing this looks. Even while beat up, it looks really good. Again, no ruching here, which is what I really like. Just straight, clean, sleek in this nice black leather. And then you can get them professionally stretched out for you and broken in for you, which is what I did. And they fit and are amazing. This shoe is pretty awesome because it has a high heritage. The history of this shoe is from decades ago in the 1950s, the penny loafer really came to be, and Doc Martens back in the day, they used to make stuff like this. Now Doc Martens is made in China, it's not made in England anymore. If you do want that original Doc feel from England, you have to go with Solovair. Again, this is Goodyear welted, so you can replace this should you need to, and it will last you literally forever, which I feel is totally justifiable for that cost of around 200 bucks. So for the purchase rationale, I would say that this is by far one of the most used leather shoes that I have, and one of the most least expensive, in my opinion. Leather shoes can go into the thousands. This is literally around $200, and the quality is really, really good, handmade, in England with really good quality materials for this price point. And it took a little bit to break in, but I would say that it's definitely worth it, and I think it's the best penny loafer in the market, honestly. We're going to get into the market analysis. I know you're going to want recommendations for others at different price points. There's so many that all these brands make, but this to me is the OG. This to me is something that has that provenance, has that history that I like, and I feel is worth your money, even on the non-vintage route. Even to buy it retail, I think I had to even pay customs a little bit on this because I had to get it from the Solovair web store, and they don't have a Canadian warehouse. So I would say that I wanted this specific type of silhouette that was clean with no ruche. I know like GH Bass has some ruching here. I don't like that. It's a bit too classic for me. This is contemporary, modern, but at the same time pays homage to the past. So going into the market analysis, as you know, we go cheap, mid-market, and then high market. And I'm going to try to keep it to something of a similar silhouette, so sleek, no ruching or ruching, whatever you want to call it. Something very similar to this, something that isn't platform, just very classical. And starting off with cheap, I have to go with the Doc Marten route. It's sub $200. You get the 8-in loafer, right, or the penny loafer that they do. You get the same Doc Marten feel while having this silhouette with probably not as good materials, and it's around the same price nowadays, which is pretty wild. Looking at my notes here, I do know that they take, people have said that the 8-in loafers and their other loafers from regular Doc Martens take forever to break in. Your heels will hate you, and you're gonna hate your heels because they're always gonna be cut. Your toes are gonna be smushed, but I found that with this one, it's a bit easier than Docs for sure. So you do get some of the same qualities of this, but you don't get 100% of it. And again, at the same, or in and around the same price point, I think these are way better. You also have GH Bass, which is a known competitor, I think, of a regular Dock or GH Bass. I think I choose GH Bass, but again, I get like at that price point, I would rather go with this 10 out of 10 times. At the mid-market, we have the Vinny's Townie Loafer. I love Vinny's. I just already have the silhouette, so I don't need to buy any more loafers pretty much. But Vinny's is a great mid-market. It's around 400 bucks. I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace for $200 to $300, and they're already broken in, and you just gotta take them to a cobbler and they'll freshen them up to new. Made in Portugal. Amazing vintage silhouette as well. They're really they're great for that. And I think it's a little bit of a smaller brand. You get to support a local smaller brand if you're in New York. But Vinny's for sure, I think, is the next step up for something like this. For the expensive category, I would say that I would always warn away from expensive shoes because you can probably find them on the market for a lot cheaper. But the one that I have is something that I would actually recommend if you have the money, or again, buy it vintage, as I always say. But you can buy it retail, and I think it's totally cool too, which is the Church's Penny Loafer. The Crockett & Jones has one as well. Handmade in England, similar to this, really expensive, like around 1K or higher retail. I actually have a Church's Penny Loafer in brown that maybe I'll do a review on later. I paid $185 Canadian for that shoe, but it's got the same type of silhouette with much higher grade materials, and again, it'll last you forever. And you support if you're in the UK, a local sort of like Savile Row type tailoring spot that has been making shoes for over 100 years. And again, it'll last you forever, and you can take your Church's there and you can get them, and they're Goodyear welted, and you can get them refreshed, and they can put a new layer of paint on there and so on and so forth. So of all of these recommendations, or all of these different types of market loafers, they're all my recommendations, because the penny loafer is something of a staple that I feel every guy should have in their wardrobe, and there's none that I recommend more than this one right here. Now, we've done the description, purchase rationale, you've seen them, what they're made of, a different market analysis for different loafers. Let's outfit these. Let me show you how I do it. I'm already kind of wearing the outfit anyways, so yeah, let's get into it. All right, please excuse the mess, but we have a Von Dutch hat, my Polizei jacket, Uniqlo U vest, vintage Valentino tie, vintage, I think it's LL Bean shirt, Studio Nicholson trousers, and the Solovair loafers. So this is the fit. Again, more 50s style, as I like to do on my casual days out. Loafers on feet. As you know, we're going to go from fit, contrast, and proportion, my proprietary framework to style anything and everything. So let's start off with fit. Fit, as I say, is the easiest to get right. You know what's going to work on your body versus what's not going to work on your body. With this, everything fits pretty loosely on me. You can see with the silhouetting of the pants, the knitwear here on the vest, and even the shirt and the jacket. A little bit cinched at the waist here, just because I wanted more of the hourglass figure. Then I softened a little bit with the jacket. So it's like a soft hourglass with a rectangular proportion, but we'll get more into that later. And so everything fits nice, everything fits comfortable, the shoes are comfortable, and this is the type of vibe that you kind of want to go with for a vintage silhouette like a penny loafer. Next, we're going to go into contrast. As you know, it's split into contrasted colors and then contrasted textures. I always say for contrast, you have to complete this circle, meaning if you have one color on your body, you need the color somewhere else on your body as well, so that it shows balance and flow. So going into color, the hat here is red, the tie is red, so that's completed on red. Black on the leather here, black on the leather of the belt, black obviously on the leather of the shoes, so you have black completed as well for that color. Cream over here on the vest, cream on the pants, obviously. So you complete the circle there on cream, and then blue on the shirt, blue on the glasses. You can also add a little bit of an accessory, maybe a bandana somewhere on the arm, just to get that blue flowing somewhere else throughout. Next, we have contrastive textures. You got to complete the circle on there as well. So we have leather on the shoes, leather here, on the belt, a little bit on the jacket, of course. Everything else is just cotton or wool, and those go hand in hand with each other. Where you could kind of go wrong would be maybe different piles of texture. Maybe it's too harsh on the eyes. Maybe you have something super furry like a fuzzy jacket, but then everything else is smooth. You're going to draw attention to that jacket, and nobody else is going to see the rest of your outfit. And I always say the best outfits are greater than the sum of their parts is the holistic, whole, organic outfit. And so if you draw attention to one part of your outfit versus the entirety of it, you could probably flow it a little bit better. Lastly, we have the proportion part of the framework. Proportion is the hardest to get right, as I always say. You have to know what works on your body versus what doesn't work on your body. Similar to fit, but proportion is now changing the shape of your body through what you wear. Now, I have cinched it, as I said before, at the waist, so I get a little bit of that hourglass shape when I take off the jacket. However, with the jacket on, it's more of a rectangle of soft hourglass, which is a bit more of a fashion-forward and fashion-friendly silhouette. You want to go a bit more flirtatious, take off the jacket, show off a little bit of the waist, show off that hourglass, and then you're right as rain. But that's why I didn't want to really go that route. One, it's cold, and two, I want to show off that a little bit more fashion-forward. I think a lot about this stuff, and I think you guys do as well. So I go with the rectangle proportion a lot because it allows me to layer more effectively. And I think I was gonna say the penny loafers kind of add a certain flair with that. With really any proportion, the hourglass, the rectangle, it's just a timeless thing. It works with everything, which is what I really love. All right, guys, that's about it for the penny loafer, the Solovair penny loafer, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.